Hello, hi. So I normally do my coffee break video on a Sunday, but yesterday, which was Sunday, was A, Mother's Day here in the UK, and B, because of that, I used my time that my family kindly allocated for me to be freed up on Mother's Day to come and spend some time with B Marshall, to come and talk with you live and hear from her. So if you haven't caught that, it's on the group feed and you can catch up with that anytime. She's glorious, you'll really enjoy it, I'm sure. But I wanted to make sure I also brought you the coffee break as per usual for this week. So I'm sorry for the shift in routine and it being on a different day for those of you who like the predictability of the routine. I do try and stick to those things, but I couldn't manage both yesterday. And so it happened as it happened. I hope you're all doing well on the other side of Mother's Day, if that was a thing for you, whatever that brought up for you. I hope you're able to bring yourself lots of self-love and compassion, whatever space you find yourself in yesterday and following that today. I've got my cards for you here because it's coffee break. We always have a card. So I'm going to give these a little shuffle for a minute and just invite you to notice if you are walking with something at the moment that you would like some clarity around, that you're looking for some guidance around, something that you're finding yourself feeling a bit stuck, frustrated, angry, bitter, blocked in. Just notice what that thing is and notice that as soon as the wanting, the desire, the question arises, that the answer is available to you and our only job is to let it in. I'm going to talk a bit more about that in a sec, but just hold it in space within you and I will shuffle these cards and feel into our intention, and one of these will reveal itself. And don't worry if you're watching on the replay. As an energy therapist, I'm always talking about this. It's really hard for our minds to latch on to, mine too. But time and space as we know it is a very restrictive concept, and you can absolutely be watching this on replay and feeding into the intention of what card will be pulled for you, even though IRL, of course I've actually pulled it. Isn't that weird? Quantum physics is weird. Don't get me to explain it, but there you go. Actually, that reminds me, our daughter's just watched The Matrix for the first time, and so it's like in that like zone of that. So it's a bit like that, isn't it, when it all gets blown away? Right, there's a card. Oh, lovely. We'll reveal that in a little bit. So hi, my loves. I've just got an insect bite on my hands, and I have to celebrate the joy of the fact that spring has sprung. It's been sunny. How glorious, how wonderful. And insect bites. I get really itchy ones, do you? So what I really wanted to come and share with you in our coffee break, this is what's coming up through me today, is if you are somebody, and if you're not, do let us know what your tricks are, because I think this is every human I've ever spoken to, really. But if you are somebody who finds that when they've got something that they want to change, to work out, to move out of the space they're in and into something else, they can get a bit caught up in the mind. This is what I really wanted to bring for you today, because when we have something which seems like we haven't landed in, we don't understand, we haven't made sense of, it feels complicated, we feel confused, it feels unfair and stuck and all that stuff going on. And let's be honest, that can come up a lot in all of our parenting journey, can't it? You know, we are often holding space for something, for someone, something, an experience going on in the family where we're sat in the unknown. And it seems like we need some kind of direction, we need some kind of resolution, we need some kind of answer. And we can really get caught up in our mind trying to find that answer. And the thing is that our mind is a really, really useful and important tool when it's used correctly. But when we're not using it correctly, it can be our biggest pain in the bum, in the way influence of all time. So how do we get to use our mind correctly? Well, I invite us to notice that our mind is part of a holistic system. It's part of the mind, body, spirit system. And it needs to be heard and acknowledged. All the loops, all the things it's throwing out need to be heard and acknowledged, and they need to be brought into the fold. They need to be welcomed in, all of those thoughts, all those runaway thoughts, the worried thoughts, the frustrated thoughts, the trying to find answers that we can't find because we just don't know thoughts, need to be brought into the fold and embraced and appreciated and loved. Unconditionally loved. But we also need to acknowledge that keep going round in that loop is not going to move us any further. So we need to bring it in to the wholeness of us, the wholeness of our system. And we need to be in our body, and we need to be in our breath, and we need to be grounded and present in the fullness of who we really are, in our deep self, in our connected self. My husband just sent me a text. I thought I had to do it on Do Not Disturb, and it says something like tea, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. It might have been, do you want a cup of tea? I might be missing out. So we really need to get grounded into the fullness of ourself, and that includes all that stuff that's going around in our mind. We need to bring it in. We need to bring it in deeper. We need to bring it down into the body. We need to breathe fully into our belly and allow that breath to expand, that life force in the breath to expand through our body. And I learned a really nice exercise. As an energy therapist, I use lots of different techniques, but I learned this one today. And I thought, I'm going to go and share that because that's really nice. So, you know when you do your pelvic floor and you have to do that squeeze that we're taught, like if you're going for a pee and you have to stop mid-flow, that's the muscle. So the invitation is to do that, but not to grip really tightly. You might have to feel it and to get to know it. You might have to do the full squeeze. Do it with me now. Do that full squeeze and feel that pelvic floor. So you're like imagine you're stopping the stream of pee coming out. But then relax it, so it's just a gentleness, and it's just that light touch. Hi, Claire. So I'm just teaching an exercise where we can really ground into the body to help us bring all that stuff that's going around in our mind. Just in case you relate to this at all, I'm just going to go over this just for you. All that stuff that's going around in the mind, where you might be stuck, where you might be like trying to find answers, where you might be in worry, where you might be confused, and it's like the mind's going, and not dismissing it, but actually bringing it in, bringing into the fullness of the body, the breath, getting grounded in the body, grounded in the belly. And this lovely exercise that I learned today, which is just like with our pelvic floor exercises, those Kegel exercises, we're taught to squeeze that muscle, which is really in that root chakra at the base and grounding us, and just give it a really gentle squeeze. And it's right at the bottom of the spine, it's right in the root chakra, and it just brings that focus and that energy into our root, really down into the body. And it's really grounding, and it's a bit like we're moving from having our mind going around a bit like a crazed toddler who's trying to work it all out and has got a lot of energy and is finding out a lot of things and gathering information, and it's got lots of enthusiasm and lots of great intentions, but it's a little bit, new to all this life stuff. And bringing it down into the body, into the fullness of who you are, into that root of your being, which is like being held by an elder, by a really wise and gentle and patient grandparent who is like, okay, yeah, this is really valuable. Yeah, there's some stuff to explore here, but holding space while that little toddler, that mind, is kind of doing all its working out and holding space while it's doing its worrying, knowing from its elder wisdom, its grounded wisdom, that the answers will come, that things will show themselves, that, you know, we will learn and we will grow and we will move through, and we're okay where we are. And that's the thing, it's like bringing into the fullness of who we truly are, bringing all of those aspects of us together, means we can still be with those thoughts, we can still be with those worries, we're not dismissing them, but we're just loving on them and recognising that we can also hold space in the fullness of our greatness and our knowing and our wisdom that says, you know, okay, we're going through this experience, yeah, I see you, yeah, we're going to go through more, and all through it, I love you unconditionally, I've got you, it's going to be fine, you know, we're learning. We're having this experience and we're learning. And from that place of grounding, which you can really do with that squeeze of the pelvic floor or whatever grounding exercises you use, from that place, we can go back to the mind, but this time we're going to the mind and accessing it as it's designed to be used, from the fullness of who we truly are, from the wisdom that we truly have in our mind, body, soul system available to us. It comes from the wisdom of the belly when we're in the fullness, the wisdom of the breath, the wisdom of our intuition and our feeling, and our mind, which is coming from its fullness, not its closed down, you know, primal fight, flight, freeze, fawn response, trying to work all of life out, but being completely closed off to all its higher thinking and its higher knowing. And we've really got all the circulation going, and our energy system, our holistic energy system, is flowing and bringing all of its wisdom and all the biology to support that wisdom as well. So that's where I really want to invite you into today. So we're still loving on our mind and using our mind, but we're using it how it needs to be used to really get the most out of it as a tool. Okay, so at the beginning, I invited everyone to tune in as I was shuffling the cards if they've got something that they're walking with, a question, a worry, something that they want some guidance in, some wisdom to show up for them in. And so I just invite you all to notice what your thing is, and take in a really nice full breath. You don't need to overbreathe, but just be really mindful of that breath, really filling the lungs and expanding down into the belly. And actually, if it feels good for you, you can allow the breath to, imagine it flowing out through your legs, your feet, and into the earth, and really moving through. And then I'm going to pull this card out. This is the one that came out. It's Identify Change. So I'll hold the picture up for you to have a look at there. What's she got in her hand? Oh, a key. Okay, the card says, identify one small change that you've been postponing that would improve your life. This could be anything from cleaning a drawer to getting a new hairstyle. Change, symbolically, can be frightening. Your goal is to recognise that you postpone even small, insignificant changes because intuitively you know they can ignite powerful ones. Oh my goodness, the tiniest little pivot in a thought or an action can just unfold such a powerful difference, can't it? I mean, I think we've all got our examples of how we witness that unfold in our family, a slight change in environment or a slight change to regulating a nervous system or bringing some quiet into a space, or the tone of voice that we use, you know, and it can completely transform the interaction from that point. And we can bring that in for ourselves as well and notice that complete pivotal change that can happen on the flip of a coin. Right, let's do a bit of tapping. Okay, if anyone's watching who hasn't tapped before, if you haven't connected, Claire is an expert tapper who's watching here live, but if any of you are not used to tapping, it's really simple. You can just follow along with me, and it is designed as an energy healing technique, which is a self-help technique. So it's designed for you to be able to pick it up and do it yourself at home super quick, and it's super easy, and it's really forgiving. So don't get hung up on whether or not you're doing it right. It's really doesn't matter. Just join in and follow your intention and come in with some enthusiasm and some love, and you're going to land in a perfect place. If anyone tuning into this is interested in joining us in the Freedom Centre, my membership space, you are most welcome to come and join us for April. So it's the end of March today as I'm recording this video, so you've still got time to come in for April. We let new members come in at the beginning of the month. So I've just added some peeps in today, and you're most welcome to come and join us. We have a Zoom call every weekend where we get together and do tapping and connect and grow with each other through the Freedom Centre. So if you want to, just put in the comments or drop me a DM if you want to join or if you want to know anything more about that. Okay, so when we do EFT tapping, we start by tapping on the side of our hand here underneath the little finger. You can do either side, you can tap the hands together if you want. You don't need to tap firmly, you can just stimulate the points. I'm just a firm tapper. Okay, and we keep tapping here while we say our little statement where we make friends with whatever's going on for us that feels like we want to push it away, the thing that we feel like we don't like, the thing that feels like an issue or a problem. We're actually saying, okay, just like what we were doing with our mind, we're bringing it into the fullness and the wholeness of who we are, bringing it in, loving on it. Okay, so if you've got something coming up around that identify change that you kind of think, I want to, but I don't know how, or I don't know if I can. Maybe it's coming up for you, it's not possible for me. Maybe it's coming up for you, I just don't feel good enough. I haven't got the energy, I haven't got the resources, I haven't got the health, I haven't got the finances, you know, whatever it is. Notice your thing and say after me, and even though I don't know how to make this change, love and accept myself. Even though I don't know if I can make this change and I don't know how, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I don't know if I can make this change, I don't even know if I want to make this change anymore. I don't know if it's possible. I sure as heck don't know if I can. I don't know how. And I unconditionally love and accept myself whether I make this change or not. Yeah, I want to say that again. I unconditionally love and accept myself whether or not I make this change. In fact, right now, I'm even going to release the thought that I need to make this change. And I'm going to welcome in the possibility that this change could happen and I don't even need to do a thing. And I love and accept myself whether it happens or not. And then we're just going to tap on the front of the eyebrow here and just say, welcoming in this change. And on the side of the eye, even though I don't know how. Under the eye, even though I don't know what to do. Under the nose, even though I don't know if I can. I don't think that made sense. On the chin, even though I don't know if I can. And I don't know how. And I don't even know if I want to. And over the collarbone, I just don't know how. I just don't know if I can. Under the arm here, I don't know if I can. I don't know how. I just don't know. I don't know anything anymore. I'm out of spoons. I'm out of changes. I'm out of trying. I'm out of energy. I'm out of steam. I'm out of resources. I'm out of believing. I'm out of faith. I'm just done. And on the eyebrow, and I welcome change anyway. And on the side of the eye, I welcome change into this space. Under the eye, I'm open to change coming in. Under the nose, I welcome change in this space. On the chin, I welcome change in this space. On the collarbone, I'm open for change happening through me, for me, with me. Under the arm, I'm open to change. I'm open, wide open, breathing it in, opening the space. On top of the head, I'm open to change. I deserve change. I love and appreciate myself right where I am too. Right, my gorgeous Claire, thank you for being here. Right, you gorgeous lot watching on replay, thank you for being here. I am now being summoned. It doesn't look like I'm getting a cup of tea at all because I am apparently taking my daughter to get fish and chips. Have a lovely evening. Take lots of care of yourself. Lots and lots of love to you. Give me a shout if you want to come and join us in the Freedom Centre. If you're a last minute, you know, yeah, I got a yes, I want to know more, I want to be in, give me a shout today and we'll have you there for April, which will just feel brilliant. Okay, lots of love, bye.